Now,
for that
13.
Tony Curtis, I have to ask you, do you plan to be bidding on any of the items from the Some Like It Hot?
Not necessarily.
No?
Maybe my wife will. She's a big fan of Marilyn.
Is that right?
Yes. You know, it's unique for me to be able to look out and be here tonight and see that her goods, okay, are available. You know, that we can
sort of
end up with it. It's a monumental experience.
Sort of mixed, I would think.
It is, and you know, for us to be able to have tangible evidence of the reality of Marilyn is very important. It's just not available anywhere, you know.
I can't thank you enough for stopping in tonight.
Sure,
it has been a real pleasure.
Thanks
It's a real privilege just to be able to show your movies on American Movie Classics. So thank you very much, Tony Curtis.
Adios, amigos.
This gentleman has a real future in this business. I tell you what. I tell you what. Coming up in just a little bit, we have more items from the auction. But right now, let's take a second to go back to our documentary, Marilyn Monroe, Beyond the Legend.
Mark Gordon, a classmate from the actor's lab, was at the same audition as Marilyn.
I went to read with her, and I realized that she was so nervous the script was shaking like a leaf. So I said, Marilyn, just grab my arm and hold on to it, and remember, with a microphone, you don't pay any attention to it. This is just a story about two young people sitting on the front porch deciding whether they're going to kiss each other. And she grabbed my arm and really sunk her fingernails into it. She was scared. And afterwards, in that wonderful, tremulous voice of hers, he said, oh, thank you so much. I don't know how I can ever thank you. And I said, well, let's go across the street and have a cup of coffee at Coffee Dan's. And she said that she had an opportunity to go out with Johnny Hyde on Tuesday night. And I said, listen, that's important. He's a big agent. I called Thursday morning, and evidently that night was the night that she decided to go up and live with Johnny Hyde.
She had a talent to make people sorry for herself, and she exploited it to the very best of her ability. That was pretty good. Even people who have been around and around and around in Hollywood still fell for this help me pose.
Your whole impulse was really one of wanting to protect her. And I felt no sense of manipulation from her, no sense of anything except sheer terror.
And I think it helped her a great deal to become a star, because everybody wanted to help her.
She respected intellect. I was busy going out with handsome young movie stars. She was attracted, maybe father figures, but certainly older men who were very smart.
Super agent Johnny Hyde prevailed on John Huston to audition Marilyn for a part in the 1950 Asphalt Jungle. It was her first major break.
Since I'm going to be busy with a lot of cases, I thought you might like to take a trip.
Where to?
Oh, I don't know, the coast, Florida, anywhere you like.
Could I, Uncle Lon? Anywhere? No fooling?
Yes, I think a change of scenery might be good for you.
Wait. You wait right here. I've got the most terrific idea.
Oh, Cuba, that's not a bad idea.
Imagine me on this beach here in my green bathing suit. Yikes. I almost bought a white one the other day, but it wasn't quite extreme enough. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I really went in for the extreme, I would have bought a French one. Run for your lives, girls, a fleet thing. Oh, Uncle Lon, am I excited? Yikes!
We were blonde Hollywood babies, but it wasn't sad when we began to get good roles. It was the most glorious and wonderful thing. We had fun, and all this stuff about being doomed and having a miserable life is totally untrue. It was exciting and wonderful, and she got a used black Cadillac and drove people around, and I had a new white Cadillac that Paramount got from me wholesale, $2,500 with everything on it. And we really had fun. At one point, we used to pick up our unemployment checks and go to the racetrack and bet $2. Bet about $6 all day long.
Encouraged by Johnny Hyde, Marilyn eagerly pursued publicity. She would be voted Miss Cheesecake of 1951.
I first met Marilyn on the set of All About Eve, where we were all at Margot's.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night.
I was very irritated at her, I must say, almost right away, because she kept us waiting almost an hour. And when she did arrive, she looked like this dear little sort of duckling of a girl, with blonde hair and pretty figure and unawareness, really, of the demands that were made upon most of us all the time, to be on time, to know our lines, to be ready when we were called. So, but she seemed to be blithely unaware of this. And then she proceeded to, I remember the line about somebody saying she called the waiter at the party, and I believe George Sanders said,
And that isn't a waiter, my dear, that's a butler.
Well, I can't yell, "Oh, Butler," can I? Maybe somebody's name is Butler.
it was interesting because she did it right, but I wondered whether she was playing herself or whether she knew how funny she was.
You have a point. An idiotic one, but a point.
I don't want to make trouble. All I want is a drink.
Leave it to me. I'll get you one.
Thank you, Mr. Fabian.
Well done. I can see your career rising in the east like the sun.
About the third day, Mr. Ratov said, "That girl is going to be big star." I said, "Why?" "Because she keeps everyone waiting." And he said, "No, she has a quality."
Claudia, come here. You see that man?
Well, I saw this soft, little vulnerable quality.
Why do they always look like unhappy rabbits?
Because that's what they are. Go and make him happy.
But I didn't know how much will was behind it. I didn't know how much drive.
Signing her second contract with 20th Century Fox, Marilyn was given a succession of dumb blonde roles. To each, she added something unique.
Think of all the millions of people all over the world who loved and admired and worshipped her, really. And yet, how many people do you really think she felt really loved her? Johnny Hyde was one of them. He was a feisty little agent, William Morris, I think. The big company, William Morris. And he was always, at least at Fox, he seemed to be very, very close at hand a good deal of the time. But I think she felt he did care for her. And I think that was very helpful to her at that time. I understand that Johnny Hyde had left his wife and family, wanted to marry her. But you see, if she'd really been the kind of gold-digging, gonna-get-it star of that sort, she probably would have. But she didn't.
Johnny Hyde made all the difference for Marilyn. With his guidance, the name Marilyn Monroe began to be recognized. But he would not live to see her first real success. From now on, she'd have to go it alone. In the 19...
Going to let you folks know that at the end of this program, we will let you know which items went for how much money, and that is at the end of the program, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You'll get all the information. Right now, the cocktail dress is being auctioned off on the floor. Let's go there live now.
38 here, Barbara. 38, Barbara. Going on? 40,000. 42,000. 42,000 with you, Barbara, at the moment. 42,000. 50,000 on the telephone. 55,000. 55,000 then. 55,000. At 55,000 at the moment. 55,000. At $55,000. At $55,000. You all down last time. It's Barbara's bid at $55,000. I'm selling it then at 60,000 new bidder. 65,000. 65,000. 65,000 at $65,000. $65,000. Your bid, Barbara, at $65,000. You all done for the last time at $65,000. All done? Yours, Barbara.
$65,000 for the dress that was $65,000 for the dress that was worn on the occasion of her marriage announcement to Arthur Miller back in July of 1956. And it was also worn at a London press call with Laurence Olivier and Arthur Miller for the promotion of The Prince and the Showgirl back in July of 1956. Let's go back down to the floor now and see what else is up for sale in this exciting, exciting auction tonight.
1900, 2000, 2200, 2400, 2600, 2800, 3000, 3200, 3500, 3800, lots of places, 4000, mass places, 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000.
Bid in the gallery.
9,000. So many bids, I can't take them all. 9,000, 10,000, 11,000. Going on, 11,000.
Now, Meredith, the current bid on these shoes is $11,000. These are platform shoes, but they have the stiletto heels and very, very wonderful shoes for anybody that knows Marilyn.
Yes, I think they're terrific. They're sort of very sexy, and the only photograph we could find of her wearing them was at a Royal Command performance in front of my Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. I don't know what she made of them, but I certainly think they're fabulous.
Well, somebody else does too, to the tune of $16,000, $17,000. Let's see.
31,000, 32,000, 23,000, 24,000, 25,000, 26,000, 27,000, 28,000, 29,000, 29,000 on the left. At $29,000, at $29,000, you all done for the last time at $29,000. Well done. Number 1920 again. Lot 20.
Well, $29,000 for the shoes that were worn by Marilyn at the Royal Film Performance on October 29th, 1956, to the premiere British film, The Battle of River Plate. And I want to